all my friends keep calling me delusional. Don't know how I'm gonna do it all. They say that I'm in too deep. If it's another bear market, I won't lose no sleep. I'm pre-rich. I know that one man sold too early for 2 pizza pies. Other man held for 15 years, now his kids are set for life.
Yo, family, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Blockchain Banter at internet speed, episode 20. And you can see this time around we have got a reappearance of Chad, aka the Rue Barbarian, and also a new face who is gonna be a co-host for the time being with us. Those who have watched the Blockchain Banters, the grassroots events, the ones that happened last time, you may remember him. It's Will. Twitter out being a heavy hash, and we're gonna just kind of get to in the facts we tend to do, talk about the recent updates, what to expect, and what's been going on in the life of mainly Chad. We're here, but everyone else at the general as well. So welcome, Will and Chad. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you. I'll be here until I get fired. So
good to be here. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Trevor.
No worries. Well,
good to see you.
To get started off with, then I guess. What are you up to, Chad? I know we've heard apparently you've moved as well. You obviously, those who don't know, Chad was based in Canada, and now he's come to the United Kingdom.
At least for 2 weeks. Yeah.
So yeah, what's going on with you right now, Chad? What have you been up to?
Yeah, man, it's been a year or two. I've chatted with a few about some family stuff that we've been going through. I lost my mom a couple of years ago, and then just this past month, my dad passed. And at the same time, we've been prepping for relocation to Scotland, and continue on with what I'm doing with Rhubarb Media. But it's sort of going back into a past life of mine, which some may know that I was a pastor. So getting back into more working with local community, local church here in Ayrshire, and we've had relationships with them for a while. So all that to say is I haven't been overly active that I have been in the past. So apologize for that. But life is life, and we all have things, and we have to take a break from the screen and from crypto off and on. But I'm really excited to be here. I love your guys' show, and it's good to be on here with Will as well. The last show that he was on, I was like very impressed with his knowledge, even though he's only 12.
The issue is I've had a shave today, so I look even.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, when I shave, I look 12. So
yeah.
But, it's just brilliant to listen to all the interviews that are on this channel, and the XXIM channel. I just listened to Angels, Kaspa Interns second part. Just brilliant minds and passionate people, and that's why I kind of joined, and that's why I stayed. It's just mostly because of the people, but the tech as well. But it really does make a difference when you're surrounded by such amazing, passionate people who, they kind of think and move in the same way you do, and there's not as a lot of drama as I've been in other projects. So so that's where I've been. And now we're potentially heading to Scotland. So we're in Scotland. We're coming back in the fall to lay down some roots. So I'll be here. I'll come see you guys at the Wolfie's Bar.
Please do. In fact, I'm meant to be going to Wolfie's Bar on Thursday for a Web3 poker event, which I'm waiting for my look back, because me and Lev, we've done 2 of these so far. First time round, smoked Lev. It was unbelievable. Second time around, he got me back. It wasn't that fun. So now I want to get that best of 3 out of the way and just declare once for all that I am the poker champion. So I'm gonna get ready to cook. I've been practicing, getting ready for it. And but yeah, Wolfie's is always a great laugh. The environment, the atmosphere, the food. Honestly, the food's incredible. And of course, who can go wrong with Viking Horn beer as well? So there'll be many more of those, I'm sure. Yeah, you've been busy. As you said, life gets in the way like that. But
not to get into the press, and no, I was talking to Chad about this backstage. Sorry to hear about your dad, Chad. I didn't know about that.
Thank you.
I know you said stuff happened, but I didn't know it was that. So it's very tough. And we were talking about there's a lot of people in the CAS community that might disappear for a while or go quiet or be in a bad place, and we never hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only have man flu. That's
Okay.
you know, that's down the table.
No, it's true. No,
Yeah,
no. Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah, go ahead.
no, no. I was just gonna say, like the last few months, like another month, I could have been homeless. Like, but my wife was in court with her work, you know, and but we were going to court, and another month, all the bills were mounting up. But they settled out of court. They were well in the wrong, and they knew. So that's sorted, and so I don't have that worry anymore. Then last month, a member of my family died, and I had to sell Caspi and Nacho to get there. So you know, and my wife and daughter couldn't go because of the money problems at the time. So there's a lot of stuff like, but taking the videos, but you just don't know what on in people's lives behind stage. Somebody might be cranky one day. You don't know why it is, but you have to give people a bit of space. But yeah, that's just what we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, we just don't know. And I've often had people, on Twitter or something, they start to rant about something. Of course, not everyone, but a lot of people jump on them, and there's calling people up and calling people names. And I usually go back, I usually just DM them and say, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you so cranky? And often it's, there's something going on in their life. We just don't know it. So give people some grace, and I think the community would be better for it.
Yeah, me and Jay were talking about a particular person. We won't say names, but he's been given the two of us grief. Or then, yeah, he went after Jay today. And he's not a very nice person, you know. But yeah,
I'm checking my Twitter feed right now. Actually, another person's jumped on the bandwagon, so I have to reply to him after this.
Grace.
I understand the third. I get the third because unfortunately, price very much dominates public sentiment and opinion. And I get it. Cats have been down for 2 years. People are going to be frustrated with that because they were very much sold a dream, if you will, by certain KOLs that Kaspa was going to be $10 by 2024. I mean, everyone cares in regards to price to an extent. I don't overly care, from my stance point being the fact that Kaspa, in regards to percentage, from yes, we're down from all-time high, but percentage-wise, it's 85%, 86% right now. Ethereum's down 60%. Solana is equally down 60+. There are many other projects that are down as much, if not more. And we're currently in a bearish trend, kind of accumulation period, if you will. And Kaspa's building. So much is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if you even saw earlier, Chad. I only just found out earlier because of Jer saying that Michael Sutton announced on Twitter that they've got a few, stuff to do, but they're hoping to get the Takata Half out by the end of this month, June 30th.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because I'm excited by that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep building. Just keep building.
Yeah.
Be excited.
One of the just on people disappearing and coming back, one of the names that comes to mind for me is Plan K. I don't know if you guys have.
Yep.
I met him. Yeah.
He inspired a lot of my thinking because he kind of took on from the the mainstream Bitcoiner positions and applied it to Kaspa through an economic lens. And like he got like 10,000 views each video, which is a lot, especially in the early days of Kaspa. And he's just gone for like a year. So who knows if he'll show his face again? But maybe he just wanted to leave it to the world, and then who knows?
Yeah. I mean, everyone comes and goes. I think people disappearing in times of negativity, if you will, just down times, it's understandable. You do see it's very tough and rare, if you will, to see people to stick around during these kind of bear markets. People are kind of just doing their own thing, whether it be building up their portfolios and their capital, whether it's due to taking some time off after 3 years of just stress. Because if anything, you could say the last 2, 3 years, 4 years of crypto has just been stress. I used to have hair. I'm now bald. Like it's been a very tough time. But the one thing as well that I've seen a lot of I feel like that sentiment again will flip and come back when the stars align, with just using some poetry, I guess. When the stars align, people will come back. And I think one change that's going to help that is this this programmability upgrade to Kaspa, which will hopefully incentivize more people building on the protocol, more adoption coming in, and want to be doing this during this bear cycle, bearish trend. Because when the markets are picking up, Kaspa hopefully will have everything now built, or basically built, to the point where it's now just, does that chain have use? Has it got good use cases? Has it got good, smart contract elements, whatever it may be. So it's good security. Is it quick? Is it cheap? Yes. Well, then why would you not choose it? Of course, that's the hope.
Definitely.
There's a whole AI, frenzy that's still forever waited to come in as well. That, I mean, I saw, Joe had that video in regards to AI would be picking Kaspa as well, which, I mean, we've had a fair few conversations about that, and I think it is very likely. I would say, I mean, it makes most sense to me that will happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, my first thought was Rory from the KII said that he would come on the last Tuesday before the hard fork, but I didn't have a date. So now I have a date. So now I'm going to hound them because I think they're launching 7 projects. But I think they need. Yeah, well, I think he said on Twitter he said 7, or maybe that was in.
I know in the KII post he said that they have completed all of their main flagship project and they will be launching some. I didn't know there was a number to it. Wow.
I don't know where I got that
Yeah,
from.
it sounds right. It's about that. I know the list is.
Well, the last Tuesday, the cost of hard fork would come out on the 30th, the last day, which actually is a Tuesday. So if it's the last Tuesday before that, it would be the 23rd. So that's 3 weeks from now. You got to hound him. You've got to hound him. You've got to find out. Get all the alpha before it comes out.
Yeah. But that's another bit of controversy. Sorry, the KII. There's a lot of people don't believe that they are they do a lot of talking and there's nothing tangible coming out of them yet. But Rory said at the start he thinks in terms of years, like 5 years, So he's done a lot in, like, when me and you, Chad, I didn't speak to you that time, but you were in Dublin. That was 2024 September, I think. That's when we first heard of them. They've done a lot since then, and now they're launching a few things.
Still cheering them on. I mean, that's if you've ever been part of the startup community. And I think that's the difference when people are used to the quick hits and, just thinking about the money and the value. They don't understand that these projects are years in the making. And it takes time, especially the depth of what they're doing. And they're talking about enterprise market, disruption. So give them 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, whatever. But we're close to that 3 years in, I guess. But for them to be launching, soon.
They're going to be launching.
And the timing is perfect. I mean, with the Crescendo launch and now Takata, I say to people, we flipped the coin. We've been a currency for so many years, and then people started to build on it. But the core, really, Takata will be the first where we start to see L1, pure L1 programmability. And so the coin's been flipped, which I've been preaching for years in Kaspa, that we gotta escape the casino. Guys that follow the charts. I'm like, we gotta get out. And that was difficult during the first, second year. Other things started to launch, and I feel like we sort of got sucked back into it. But I think Crescendo and now Takata, this is gonna launch us into real world use, and that would mean that maybe we don't watch the traditional exchanges anymore. Maybe we'll watch the stock markets, or maybe we watch global markets and realize Kaspa is underlying in some of these things. And the reason why the value is going up is because the world is adopting, and it's not just in the small little percentage bubble of crypto land. So I'm excited. I mean, Kai, right off the bat, we jumped on and was supporting them and helping them with graphics and all this stuff. And every week, every month, I'm like, how can I cheer you guys on? Like, carry on. So, I think AI is going to be, it'll be surprising. I mean, the beauty about AI is that it'll figure out Kaspa. It'll choose Kaspa. The corporations will be like, okay, we have to listen to our agents. What do they say? Kaspa. And so.
Yeah, my only argument as to why AI probably wouldn't choose Kaspa is one that would become null and void come end of June, hopefully, because there's the whole premise of AI will obviously try to choose what's going to allow them to complete their task in the most efficient way possible. What's cheapest, what's quickest. Of course, Kaspa is one of the fastest and cheapest protocols in the space while also doing things in parallel. It's a great feat. The only shortfall was the fact that Kaspa lacks programmability and in some cases interoperability as well. But those are changing with the Kotta and with the help of what Igra Labs and Kaspex are doing in integrating with the Ethereum networks and soon to be Solana networks as well and other virtual machines. So, you know, once those all in play, and then the question of why would AI not choose Kaspa, I don't have an answer for it anymore. Yeah. Besides just having to wait and see. The thing that people unfortunately need is that people hate hearing it, but it's patience. I understand it's tough, especially in the thing is if you're a typical traditional investor in the stock market, you're not buying Nvidia for 2 years or you're not buying Nvidia for 6 months and expecting to make a significant gain. That's happening right now because we're in a crazy time in the world, but you're not buying stocks for a few months and expecting it to make an insane gain. You're holding them for 5-10 years, give or take. Crypto is unfortunately, because of its maturing nature and also a lot will still very much live in that 2021 hype cycle mindset. People are expecting to make gains very quickly. I mean, look at Hyperliquid right now. That asset has jumped 2.5-3x since the beginning of the year in 6 months. That's insane. That's not very common as for investing. But I think where we're at right now in regards to soon to be mass institutional adoption, there will be a significant surge in this space with assets that have real value, seeing a lot of adoption, demand, value going up. And then once that is found that point, then crypto will start acting like a traditional market where you'll see gains, you'll see losses, but they won't be nearly as volatile, or you're seeing 15% in a day. You're seeing 2 at most. Even then, 2 is still quite a lot. So S&P goes up on average probably about 0.5 to 1%. Yeah. And even then, that's trillions of dollars when that's happening because of how massive that market is.
Yeah, and I see that, I hear that a lot when we were all kind of, well, not all of us, but a lot of people were crying about Binance, and it's kind of upsetting that they didn't list Kaspa, but at the same time, it's like that's $1 million, $1 billion markets, maybe, but when you think about the disruption in the enterprise level and the global market, we're talking trillions and billions, and like the small piece of the pie that we love to hang on to in the crypto land, it's not comparable to what happens when all of a sudden, the bank adopts, this Kaspa standard. It's non-comparable. I mean, the amount of transactions and fees that are going to be pumping through, the system on Kaspa is going to blow anything we've seen in crypto. And, miners who've been turning off machines, they're going to be flicking them back on.
Oh yeah,
because the fee market's going to take over, and this is the argument for a lot of people where they're like, oh, it's going to die and whatever, and it's like, nope, the fee market of any other project, the fee market for Kaspa looks the most hopeful.
Yeah, Chad, I had a question about Takata and further on as well, Dagnite and VProgs as well. When you guys were starting out, how much of Takata was fleshed out? How much of it did you know was going to be in there? Like, because Michael Sutton always posts about building the engine mid-race. And I imagine like Jonathan and you guys probably had half an eye on like, we need to make this programmable so that we can onboard institutions who will provide loads of fees and make sure the network's secure, and to have that, duality of it being both a money and also like a DeFi layer. But like how in depth was the idea of how it was going to play out at the start?
So I can only speculate because although people think, Rubarbarian's been in from the beginning and I'm in the inner circle, I'm not. And that's not a regret. It's just the fact that I'm in a completely different world than they are. Community, communications and marketing and outreach, different department. If we're in the same building, but I'm in a basement, somewhere crunching away, making graphics, and they're in this
yourself like that.
They're in this massive lab, creating new worlds. So I can only speculate, but in retrospect, in following them since the beginning, they've always proven themselves that not only do they deliver, but that they're always working on something, right? And so there's never a downtime. And I think from the beginning, the best developers and the best tech companies often will build at least from their minds, from the end product back, right? And so I think they knew that what they wanted was a technology that handled the type of coordination that the modern world's going to need. And so they work backwards, and they went from Golang to Rust, and that was a step. That was, an incremental step towards what they could achieve, and then crescendo, and now Takata. So, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I love the guys, but I'm just not in their circle. And
Yeah.
we play in different zones. And I mean, I tell people I know enough to be dangerous, but really I don't know much. But I do a lot of research, and I try and contextualize as much as I can for an audience that generally gets ignored in the crypto world.
Yeah.
And that's regular users. So most of our content, even when we were managing the remember that old Kaspa X account that was happening, when we managed that, we were really balancing between.
Sorry, Chad, is that the one that you built up from nothing to 250,000 followers? That one, is it?
The community built it. But
to quickly interject there, just because Rizzy's asking here, I'm not sure if it's being serious or not, but that Chad is the original creator of the Kaspa account, or he was one that originally ran the Kaspa account.
I didn't launch the account.
He didn't launch the account. He ran it.
It was like I think it was around 1,000 or something. I forget the amount, maybe 3. When we joined, in the May of 2022 officially is when we started to help out.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was not. I don't think you could attribute it to us. I think it was partly it was because I think we really poured into the community. We equipped them, and we were really trying to speak to a lot of the users instead of just miners and developers. So I think it grew because it became a more accessible project, even though it was very confusing. It was very high tech. There wasn't much to sell. I mean, it was a coin, right? So we had to project into the future and try and predict, what's going on in the minds of the developers. But overall, I think, it was just our focus was really, and I say all this to mention that on the account, the X account, and on the new channel that we manage now, Kaspa Commons, we try and balance, like updates and keeping it like tech focused, but to really drill down and answer the question, like, if I was to simply put this to people, what would I say? Or what does this mean to merchants, to regular day users, to everyday people, to enterprise markets? What does it mean to them, instead of just focusing on developers and miners, right? So that's been our focus, and I think we just need that balance. I mean, I would say the core developers are rocking it. I trust them, but to be honest, I don't know what's in the minds of these geniuses. I only know that they deliver, and it's a great crew, and we're not, none of us are perfect, and we all still have our quirks and whatnot, but overall, I've been very attracted to the project from the very beginning, and a lot of it was because of the people that were in it from the beginning, and now, I mean, thousands and thousands of content creators. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Sorry, just for Rizzy Busy as well, that Chad is the man who created the backwards K, the Kaspa logo. So
I'll correct you on that. The backwards K was there. Oh, thank you. The backwards K was you can put it right. It's
okay.
Thank you. So the backwards K was always there because it was an actual character, ancient Aramaic character of the Kasef. And originally it was, and some people are still using it, a very simplified, almost like hieroglyphic reverse K, that thing. But the original logo was very similar to this. It was just a K. It was a backwards K. That was it. So we do you want to hear the story about this again, or is this something that's
I like hearing it.
I love hearing it.
Okay. So we were brought in by people from past projects that I met, and they're like, you need to check out this project Kaspa. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll check it out. And so eventually we put together a proposal to to brand and to launch kind of the first public channels, website, take on the socials. We launched Facebook and other socials that weren't Twitter, and Instagram and LinkedIn. I started a LinkedIn account. So anyways, when we started to research the logo, I was very intrigued by the history and the culture of the project. The Hebrews, as I call them, Hebrew bros, and their heritage. And so when I researched the ancient Aramaic, the kasaf, and what it means, it literally means silver. So if you, I'm a theologian, so I would take out what would be called the Strong's Concordance, and I would look it up in Hebrew, and it would literally say kasaf or silver. And so I thought, this is amazing. I'm gonna pull from that heritage, that culture. And so we wanted just to create a more modern version of that kasef. But we did tweak it a little bit. So we added a little bend in the middle of the K, which just brought some momentum. I just wanted to show direction. And then the color itself is, I found an old ancient coin that would taint, so the patina of coins when they get old. And this coin had every color on it. And so I just took my little ink dropper in Photoshop, and I pulled out a green that I just thought was awesome. And that was the color. So it was a pixel that I found on a ancient coin and dropped it in, and that became the Kaspa, mint, or whatever you want to call it. It's just became the color. So and then the circle itself, that's not a circle. I got beat up a lot on socials, like, don't you know how to draw a circle? Who hired this guy that doesn't know geometry, And but it was intentional, because I was tired of all the circle logos out there, Bitcoin, others. And but when we researched again, I was like, hey, back in the day when they used silver, which was a common currency, it was very common. They used it a lot. It was light, it was mass produced. And these coins, if you see them, they're all rough, right? They're used so much, they wear out, and sometimes people would clip them just to kind of take a little bit out and still use it. So that's where the kind of the odd shaped circle came, and so that's basically the story. The Kaspa, the silver, the kasef, and the color.
I really like the Kaspa name, and all the branding is just completely unlike any other crypto.
Thank you. Yeah.
Even Bitcoin it's like, okay, what is this about? It's bits and it's a coin. It's like,
genius.
Yeah, absolute genius. Whereas Kaspa is like a completely unrelated word that literally just means money. I thought that was a very clever move, and it separates Kaspa from like Solana. It's like Solana just screams, we were trying to think of a cool name, like Aptos, Avalanche. It's like, what's a cool like big thing that happens? I know, an Avalanche. Like, it's a cool name, sure, but it doesn't have the same gravitas that you would imagine a global might have.
And good brands, the best brands, have a story, and that's where this brand started. Even before I got there, the story was already there. It was a ancient Aramaic word for silver, and the kasef was there, and it was kind of an easy step, but we took our time and we created the brand, and it's kind of becoming it's a beloved brand. Like, I love going to conferences and seeing people wear it, and we've done stickers and pins and hats, and there's people plastering things on bank machines and hopefully not getting arrested, but it's pretty cool.
I had a follow-up question. You were mentioning about Takata obviously bringing coordination. Jonathan mentioned obviously the stag hunt idea in his Oxford Union speech, which I think was the first time that he actually mentioned that at all. And these are old game theory ideas really that are being brought to life in Kaspa. And I want to ask, from your perspective, first of all, like, how do you see that playing out? But also from your end, obviously your focus is on communication. So like, because there's so much you could do with it. What is going to be your focus in terms of communicating what use it is to industry and the community as a whole?
Yeah, so if you follow Kaspa Commons, I did a follow-up on Jonathan's speech, and pushed out a few posts about it, and one was kind of a retelling of the stag hunt story. I actually told it from a Scottish perspective. If you read it, you'll know the royal stag in the Highlands. So, but the one word that continued to pop out was the word coordination, and the need for a new system that will allow coordination where most or everyone can sort of win. Like we could all benefit from some sort of unique coordination. And the problem has always been the system, right? I mean, I say that. The problem is, some people are just evil and some are good. And I mean, there's a heart thing as well. But I think the idea is that finding a system that allows the coordination of people to come together and do something bigger than what they're used to, just skimming to get the little things. And that's the story of the stag hunt is really about that. Like, do we go on our own and continue and probably succeed and scrape a few pennies to our success, or do we get together and mash our brains and hearts together and trying to figure out a coordinated plan that we can get something that will feed us for a month? And I think when you apply that to Kaspa, it's the perfect story, the perfect word. We call it a narrative, and we've been using it in Kaspa Commons posts when we talk about the next thing. It's definitely programmability. The idea that Kaspa is a store of value. It's a medium of exchange, but it's also a standard of settlement. Those three things have kind of never come together. We wrote an article about it a while back. It kind of got lost with the website that changed over, but I've got all the posts. So we're going to resurrect them on Kaspa Commons. But I actually pulled a quote from Plan K, who talked about the money and the history of money, and how that everyone sort of tried to do these things and they never really made it, and how that Kaspa is adding that, it's the trilemma of fiat, of fixing fiat. But I think the missing component is that coordination, is the ability to coordinate and to do it from a Kaspa perspective. Because if you listen to Jonathan's speech, he didn't say Kaspa at all.
No,
not at all. No. The interviewer introduced him, and that was it. And he went on. But I thought that was brilliant. But when you think about Kaspa, the idea that we can create a level of coordination that doesn't rely on people that can screw it up, that's fast, that's reliable, that's programmable, on and on and on. So now, where the internet used to be, a pseudo coordinated environment, has turned into a chaotic mess. Mm-hmm. I think Kaspa technology has the ability to bring the level of coordination that we need, so that most or all people could win if we can, connect the dots and get everything powered by Kaspa, as we've said over the last couple of years. So coordination is the word, I think.
I want to quickly take a caveat and just sidebar here. I want to answer or bring up some questions from the community in the chat right now. I see yours, Rizzy. We'll come back to that one in a second. But while this one has just been asked here from Murat, I think actually this is quite a good one to talk about, because the KRI actually made a post kind of covering that earlier. I'm sure all of us here may have seen it already. I'm going to quickly mind the background noise, quickly just find it right now, and I'll share my screen for it as well. But they made a post about it and how it's actually in regards to certain exchanges simply will not touch Kaspa because we haven't got the support of institutions like Fireblocks. Yes.
Yeah. Fireblocks,
So if you know more, Chad, also I'll get your insight.
No,
I'm going to quickly just share the screen, which shows it here. So as we can see, family, loading up. Yeah. So as this post here says here, the KRI responded to, community questions in regards to, why we're not seeing comments and balance and whatnot. And they're saying that what we still need to see is Fireblocks to integrate Kaspa. And actually that's the most important catalyst for us right now. And the reason being is because Fireblocks is the dominant enterprise grade custody and wallet infrastructure platform used by hundreds of institutions, banks, hedge funds, and a huge chunk of centralized exchanges, so on and so forth. I'll probably make a video on this later on, anyways. But they kind of talk about how it is basically a necessity that you need to have the support of the likes of Fireblocks to be able to get this sort of adoption. And they even also highlight the possibility that the maturing nature of Takata could end up seeing integration greatly enhanced, which is, I mean, do you have any thoughts on that, Chad? Because that would be a really big catalyst.
Yeah. So I remember actually going to a conference a couple years ago and talking to the Fireblocks guys, because at that time we were talking about wallets and those things. And I mean, Fireblocks it's the infrastructure, they say that powers financial stability or powers the finance world. And it's not as good because they are pseudo gatekeepers to, what we want to happen. And it's just like, well, I guess we got to use you guys, but it's in the financial world, they're the ones that have proven themselves to have that stability in building the infrastructure and the possibilities for finance. So at that time, they were obviously like, well, we need $1 million, and you need to, show us your dev stack and tell us, who's. It was just insane. So at that time, we're like, okay, yeah, we'll see you guys in a few years, I guess. And I know Wolfie has talked to the Fireblocks guys as well. So it is true. They're one of the throughways to get through. It might be a hurdle, but it is a doorway. And I do know that they probably are. I mean, they're looking at Kaspa. They know Kaspa, but it's both waiting for them to see that there's the ability to plug into what they're doing. And that's not going to be proven until, things that what KII is doing. I think other stuff that's happening with like Cascade and the lending protocols, stuff that Kaspa Intern is doing with fund management, all these things will probably be compile to kind of lean on the door of a Fireblocks and have it, open up.
For sure. I mean, the bottom line comes down to the same argument was made in regards to like Binance and Coinbase and these kind of enterprise or big platforms. They have become so used to how crypto has changed to the point where it's money. Money is what moves them to
Makes
make
the world
decisions.
go round. Yeah.
And unfortunately, Kaspa being the grassroots fair launch, no VC backing project it is not, I say it's not on the same level. There are people who can contribute to that, but it is not the ethos of Kaspa to pay their way to the top. It's to prove that it should be at the top.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that will come to fruition with the incoming upgrades. Just to quickly then sidebar before I hand the floor back to my co-host, who I'm stealing the line off again. Got this question here from Rizzy here, which we have got some more, but we'll come back to in a moment here. But this one here I think is also quite interesting. So a great idea for adoption would be a Kaspa marketplace for e-commerce, physical and digital goods. And I mean, not so much a question, more so a statement here, but I would care to agree. I think having real world use case for Kaspa in those areas would be very important. I think the KII are in some, I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but I think, isn't that somewhat similar to what like Olive Chain is for KII in some areas?
Yeah. And there has been, I apologize for whoever's developed this, but there is a couple marketplaces that are selling, goods, Kaspa goods and goods for Kaspa. Some are really hyper focused, like Proof of Print, which I think is changing his name. So they're out there. So it's a great idea. And, I would just say, do it, JFDI, just friggin' do it, But yeah, any of that form where we're proving the thing works is a bonus and can't hurt.
Yeah. And sorry, one last part in regard to the question here. The answer is somewhat provided by KII in their post. And once more, I'll put it and I'm making a video on it. It's not a necessity, but it's a massive additive bonus. Because what Fireblocks wants is the conviction and belief that what they're going to be adding on to and supporting is going to be trustworthy. And what Kaspa is, fair launch, proof of work, no pre-allocation of mining, all the amazing things that Kaspa is, the thing it lacks right now is enough of a use case due to a lack of programmability and also interoperability, things we spoke about earlier. So having those additions with Takata, with the work from the layer 2s, and of course with the ability to build native assets on Kaspa following Takata, it would, as KRI put it, it would enhance, well, in their words, Kaspa maturing with Takata, the case for integration is greatly enhanced. So it would be a massive bonus for sure.
I remember when we had Wolfie on, Wolfie said he was in talks with Fireblocks, like you said, Chad, and they told him that they were going to list it. They had it set to list it in the future, but they never did. Then he went back to them again, and they said they would list it this time, but they still didn't do it. So there's a bit of back and forth between Wolfie and them. But Chad, you're a marketing man, so I had a marketing question for you. You know the way people say there's no such thing as bad marketing? Like, I want to know if that's true, because there's an X channel called Discovery Crypto. They have 1 million followers, and they talked about Kaspa yesterday. I made a video on it, and what they were saying wasn't great. Like, first off, he said that the next narrative in crypto is going to be AI narrative and DeFi, which we think as well, yeah. But he didn't mention Kaspa in that space. His co-host went on to said he was going to get some Kaspa because the chart looked good, and the other person said that's exactly the opposite to what I said. So he doesn't, like,
they don't get it.
Like, they have a lot of followers, but they haven't looked into it much. That Kaspa is made for the AI narrative and like how it's going to go in the future. But and then obviously there was a message came up on the screen and said that Kaspa was the gonorrhea of proof of work.
I saw that.
So did you saw that? Yeah. So like is that good or bad? Is any, like, it kind of brings Kaspa to people's attention, but at the same time it's saying it's a bad thing. Like, do you think the benefits out of that outweigh the negatives?
That's hard to say, because I mean, I think if someone stands on a stage, on a Bitcoin stage, and yells Kaspa at a Bitcoin concert, obviously some people are going to be like, what's that, right? Most of the crowd be like, they'll probably beat them up and send them off, and that's not good. That's not good marketing. But overall, I mean, any positive, I mean, the guy framed it initially that he sounded positive. I'm going to invest in Kaspa, you know. I think he kind of like backtracked a little bit when the other guy's like, oh, you know, that's the opposite, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to be in it for the quick pump and dump. I don't know what it just sounded like. He was heading in the direction of like, I'm actually interested. Look at this chart, you know, blah blah blah. And the guy's like, yeah, it's gonorrhea. So I think his followers will probably trust him and say, well, let's take a look at Kaspa. So not a bad thing. Again, it's crypto land, and you know, the percentage of people in crypto land that are going to move Kaspa, I think it's there and it will happen, but the most percentage is going to be on the other side of Takata.
Yeah,
and these are people that don't know Bitcoin.
No, and I think in regards to the video and the following up from the question Joe asked, in almost responding to how they're viewing it, some of them don't like Kaspa, some of them think Kaspa's a great entry. I think, and they don't, and the whole process, they don't talk about it in regards to AI. I actually spoke about this topic with Will at Wolfie's, which is that the way Kaspa's set up is not one that's an AI asset, but it's an infrastructure. And at this point in the game, with how AI is growing, but it's still perceived, it's still got a lot of negativity surrounding it. It's quite dodgy, if you will, in some aspect, because AI is not performing and not producing enough return on investments. It's expensive, yada yada. And you're seeing everybody now jump on the AI trend. So you're just seeing a project that's table AIs in their title. Oh, it's an AI project, but what does it do? What for me is actually going to matter more so is not creating an AI asset or going into an AI asset. It's going into infrastructure that can leverage the AI and bring out the best of its potential. And that's why I think the individual, the co-host, is very misaligned and misunderstood as to what Kaspa is. Because infrastructure, Kaspa has the infrastructure best suited to have the finality, speed, the cost, and the parallel processing that AI will need to bring up the best of its potential.
It comes to a point where, and I remember posting about, I don't know if it was Sailor's speech or something at the Bitcoin conference, where everything's going to fold into Bitcoin, right? Like it's all going to land. And I just said, you sound so stupid. Like that, nobody would really ever say that if you look at all the other innovation that's happened in the world. Like that, to say that is just, to me, is dumb. And the interesting part about that video that you mentioned, he kind of lists all the things that, the AI needs. And he basically just described Kaspa. And then in the same breath, he's like, oh yeah, Bitcoin, all in Bitcoin, everything's, and it's like, you're
Brain not
dumb.
working.
You're dumb. Like I
It's
wrote,
like almost there. Like they put everything up, they put the bait on the hook, and then as soon as the fish is biting, just they're not reeling it in. It's just almost there, and then
So,
they
like,
just miss it.
yeah, I said in a post, I actually reposted it after Jared's post, because I was like, people need to be reminded that, what's coming with AI. AI needs real-time decentralization. It needs a technology that can coordinate at that speed, decentralized. And it's exactly where Kaspa, matters. It's a high throughput, low latency, proof of work settlement layer that can support real-time payments, automatic settlement, infrastructure coordination at global scale. AI is going to choose Kaspa. So, it's going to happen.
And there's also a good argument for Potential as well, which I know a lot of the Kaspa community has got a lot of correlation and alignment with Potential as well. And I think Potential has got a good architecture and protocol for it as well.
Kaspa can be the infrastructure and the back end. You may not even know it's run on Kaspa, but BitTensor is building or using it, right? So it's good.
Yeah, and I was gonna make a point about the bad marketing. I think marketing is only bad if the project is bad.
Totally.
Because if you're Terra Luna, and you get some bad marketing, the bad marketing is that the project is bad and it just dies. Whereas with Kaspa, if it gets bad marketing, it's fine. It just bounces off of it because Kaspa knows what it is. It's just technology.
There's 2 cents right now, Will. So.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no.
It's not about the price. It's not about the price.
It's never about the
in crypto land. It's not about the price.
No, absolutely. But what I was going to say about the hype element is that I think in some sense it sort of doesn't matter whether we decide that like Kaspa is the right solution or whether people come to that conclusion straight away, because like you were saying, AI is rational, right? It's got no emotion. It's just going to choose it. And all of those projects which just put AI in their title or claim to be an AI project, sure, like they'll get hype, they'll probably pump, they'll probably get dumped by their founders, but there won't be any stickiness. Like the actual product isn't good enough for those AIs to stick around, or for people that need an AI use case for them to stick around. Whereas Kaspa, even if we get no hype, it will just be a case of like, oh, we got another user, or someone else is using it, and we just get a slow growth. And the bet is probably that at some point the Fed will print loads of money and there will be some catalyst that causes a hype run for Kaspa. That's most likely, sure. But even if that doesn't happen, it's okay, because we've just got the slow growth of knowing that using Kaspa is better than not using Kaspa, which means that people will start to use it.
And sorry, Will. Didn't when we had Pavel on, didn't Jay say that? Or sorry, Jay, when we had Pavel on, didn't he? Yeah. No, not you, Pavel. The AI agents will gravitate towards Kaspa when they find out which chain they like the most themselves. They get so advanced that they'll just stick on Kaspa if they like it the best.
Yeah. I'm quickly just going through my feed right now. I believe it was week 9. First night in the 9th episode we had, or it was slightly earlier than that. But Pavel literally said that when it comes to it might even be the 5th week in. It was a very, very early on, months back. But Pavel literally stated the fact that Kaspa has got a Kaspa block architecture. Its speed of finality. AI is nothing. AI doesn't have the shortfall or the issue of human greed and human emotion. It is purely just what is the best thing that will let me complete my task.
Yeah. Even Jonathan said the next billion users are going to be AI agents.
The machines. I agree. Yeah, I think they're going to switch midstream. I mean, because you think about the humans are prompting, make me more money, make this faster, help this to not crash, all these, I mean, there'll be more complicated prompts, I'm sure. But if that's in the brains of the machines, they'll be running on some other crypto or blockchain. All of a sudden, they'll just be like, flip. Hey, we need to use Kaspa now. Sorry, because this thing doesn't work. And the human will have to say, okay, because I mean they can even ask the agent, why should I move to Kaspa? And they'll say, well, it's faster, it's, you know, on and on. It's real time, and we have the ability to even build on it. I think the speed of robots building, you know, things, and people that are vibe coding is awesome, but I think down the road it's just going to be machines figuring out new applications, and they're going to want a technology that allows them to coordinate in real time, and it's going to be Kaspa, and that's why it's in our narrative. When we look at like all the users, about a year ago I added machines. I put them right in there with merchants and Mavericks and all the other. I said machines are going to be one of the big users. So, but I'm sure Jonathan thought of it first.
Chad, do you think? Sorry, I just following on that. Do you think Kaspa has an Achilles heel? Like, is there something that could happen where that doesn't play out? Because I look at every other crypto that I can with my limited time, and I come to the same conclusion that there's nothing that comes close. Is there something?
Yeah, the only. I mean, it sort of comes down to the developers that know what they built and how they built it. But I think with the exponential growth of the dev team, that knowledge of that, I mean, we've already seen it as new developers have come in with Hans and, you know, and others. I think there's enough of a development team to say, like, if somebody like falls off the face of the earth, if you know, God forbid we lose Michael or something, I think that's not going to change things. One is because they built a tool to run without, you know, the need to constantly be poking at it. I mean, it's part of the power of really good tech is that it doesn't have to be constantly maintained. But this type of technology needs maintenance. But I think we have a big enough tech team and dev team that spans across, you know, it's not just core Kaspa. We've got IGRA in their team. There's Casplex. There's, you know, there's KAI developers. There's, you know, Cascade. So I think the only Achilles heel would be if, say, you know, if we've got 50 or 100 awesome developers that know Kaspa core and are building on it, if all of them got wiped out. But even that, I think, I mean, they'll probably think about something about like using AI.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Build in a switch that's like, hey, if all of a sudden nobody's touching the code for, you know, 2-3 weeks, please do something. I don't know. I mean, it'll probably end up that way down the road, where machines will start to continue to keep the throughput, speed, all that will be learned by the machines, and we could just sit back and use the applications.
I was actually going to talk on that aspect as well. Like, again, touch wood, God forbid, one of the core devs ends up stepping away for a reason. We've heard from Kaspa Core, I think it was either Jonathan or it was Michael Sutton, or it was one of them. They are talking about the fact that with the advances to AI, they are now leveraging AI to help them further accelerate the timeline into regards to developing and building protocol with like Takata. And I'm sure they're also utilizing it to help accelerate the timeline to their hopeful belief to create full version of VProx and Dagnite end of this year. Now, I'm going to be pessimistic here. I think that's a very tough task to complete Dagnite and the full version of VProx by the end of this year. But early 27, I don't see why not. Of course, I'm no dev. I'm no tech guy. I'm just a KOL. I'm just a funny guy with no hair on YouTube. But I do think that I do think that if anyone's going to get it done, it will be Kaspa Core. They have got a very, very, very experienced team, which we've seen these clips and in these words from Jonathan where he's said, "Oh yeah, I've been speaking to the founders from Zcash and Niv and from the Solana team. They're all like, oh, we love the idea." We've heard Nick Szabo, the creator of smart contracts, saying a block DAG sounds like a very interesting concept. So I have no doubt that if anyone's going to do it, it would be Kaspa Core. And I mean, can they get it done in 6 months? Time will tell, but I'm sure they'll get it done, and that will be the opening of the floodgates, if you will, just for, because I mean, I think Dagnite makes Kaspa internet chaos resistant.
That's it.
And that is nothing that can come close to that. Yeah, literally.
Checkmate.
Especially in the world with AI developing more and more, and the next so-called war believed to be a cyber warfare. There's going to be constant network outages. There's going to be stuff going down. Dag Knight would negate that being too. I mean, it would go down, but the way it works is that the blocks would end up concluding back together again. Whereas everything else, it takes the longest chain rule. Bitcoin goes down, multiple chains going off. It takes the longest chain rule. All those transactions get negated and poof into the air. Yeah.
Yep.
Dag Knight is very much the end game, and I think that would make Kaspa quite solid, like concretely the architecture.
Yep. Yeah, the machines are, I mean, a lot of corporations, when they're building applications and like high tech stuff, you have to believe that they're trying to build chaos resistant technology. And that means beyond just war. That means people. Like if they lose their entire lab, so there are, I'm sure they've got some chaos resistant element that's in the works. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm just a graphic designer.
Yeah, just tech experience here.
Just want to build on Will's question there. Do you ever worry about like budget security? Like the way the block fees are going down all the time, the block rewards are going down, so we need more transaction fees, and we mightn't get adoption in time. You think that's all going to go okay?
Oh yeah, I think the timing's perfect. Yeah, I think what Takata will bring. We've kind of seen it with once Crescendo launched and people started to like really build. We've started to see transaction fees, trickle in, sometimes fast. Like there was some spikes, but again, that was crypto land. These are kind of more crypto applications, and once we kind of take that step and get out of the casino, the fees that were coming in for some swap app or trading an NFT, that's going to be minuscule compared to when the bank adopts the Kaspa standard, or when the energy sector decides that it's the only technology that can manage their data across millions of windmills. Like it's the numbers are not comparable. I mean, so if you wanted to break it down to lower numbers, you were thinking like in the crypto land, people were getting one fee per week or something, and once we click in, and of course I'm just prophesying here that's going to happen, but I think the potential is there, that we're talking about thousands, right, compared to one. So the budget, the fee market, and actually if you want to check out a pretty decent video, it's old, but it was our good friend Shai who spoke at a Bitcoin conference in Vegas. I think it was Vegas. I was there. I recorded it, but he answered the question about that, and he talked about I think the video and the article that was written was called "The Three Woes," and he really broke it down about how we don't need to fear the budget crisis, that the fee market will kick in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose in a sense the low fees are a feature, not a bug, because if you're going to assume that people are going to migrate to the chain with the lowest fees, then that will also be the chain with the highest fee revenue, because it has mass transactions rather than just a few little ones. So even if you had a chain that forces more expensive transactions, cough Bitcoin, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the one that's going to generate the most fee revenue, because it's not going to be the most used.
And on building on that as well, shameless plug, I made a video earlier today, but actually the video I made was talking in regards to DRI, KRI, and what they're building for Kaspa in the energy market. We've seen screenshots, proof, evidence from DRI and KRI in regards to building this renewable hydrogen plant, and seemingly utilizing Kaspa Block DAG for that. In that article, in that DRI paper they posted end of last year, it was talking about the fact that you can ultimately crypto mining would be have a successful use case in the hydrogen plant. So in the case where the hydrogen plant is filled up their tank to full, it's overnight, and therefore it's still on 24/7 because you need it for data centers 24/7 running. There's just excess energy just going nowhere, and it's just wasteful. But with crypto mining, they can mine that excess energy and utilize that to continue generating fees and get your cheap electricity. So if it's on a cheap infrastructure like Kaspa, there's a
Mhm.
real use case there.
Mhm.
So
I mean, that's why we've seen that, that get picked up, with sorry, just blanked here. They only mine Bitcoin now. They mine Kaspa. Yeah, those guys. They talk about the fact that it's the cheapest thing. I can mine
you marathon.
Marathon.
That's it.
I can mine so much more in pennies Kaspa that I can do with Bitcoin, and so that's why they jumped on. And they're still holding. So I think these companies are seeing the future. But you're right. I think the application for miners is going to change. I think think about what it means in the crypto land space, what a miner is. Now push them all into the real world and consider what those machines that will probably just get bigger and faster and better, what they will then do, right? They're not just there to make people money, right? They're not just mining coins. They're actually providing services to infrastructure. They're crunching numbers and helping people become, resistant to what's coming down the road with potential quantum computing and that kind of stuff. So cryptography on its own, I think, is going to revolutionize once we break out of the casino.
For sure. I'm very excited for what's happening. To respond to Franny, who's just seemingly tuned in, it's the I don't want to say the soft timeline, but Michael Sutton announced earlier today that if everything goes according to plan, they should be releasing the version 2 version of Takata, which is effectively the mainnet launch on June 30th. So fingers crossed nothing goes wrong. We are 4 weeks off. 4 weeks until we see Takata on Kaspa, and that will be programmability and a new era for Kaspa adoption. Hopefully, it won't be immediate. Not that we talk about price, but also I don't reckon it's a price pumper. It's an infrastructure layer that helps build up for more adoption, and that will subsidize the miners and help everything else from that point on as well.
Totally.
Kaspador has updated the Cas.live.
Oh, okay.
So 27 days, 2 hours, 49 minutes.
I don't believe him.
So, Chad, do you think that the fees could go the other way then? Like, could the problem be that the fees are too high on the base layer?
Yeah,
If you're considering that it's that's a good problem to have. If you're considering that Dagnite is going to provide roughly 1,000 transactions per second, and you add up even just all transactions, monetary transactions like cash plus card, Visa, blah blah blah, even that is over 30,000. Do you think that I was trying to think of a solution to this from an incentive model? I think by the time we get there, hardware would be cheap enough to remain decentralized while increasing block sizes or block rate. And I suppose the only issue there is whether miners understand that increasing TPS or block sizes, although it decreases the fee market multiple, it would actually provide more fees in the long run because it means that people don't migrate to another cheaper chain. So, but yeah, do you think that would be a problem? What do you see as the solution to that if we ever get to that brilliant point?
Again, you're asking me a technical question, but I can speculate. And I think you kind of said it in that the technology is going to change, improve. It's going to keep getting cheaper to use. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. And I think the people will be like, oh, it's so fast. I'm only getting, in crypto land, I'm only getting a certain amount of fees because now everyone's, getting a piece of the coin. I think you can take that to the next level and say, well, because it's so fast and hardware is so cheap, you're probably gonna come out on top. Like things are going to evolve along with the technology, like the machinery, that I think, down the road, it's going to wash in the wash. We'll be fine. I mean, but there are projects that talk about increasing fees and whatnot, but if anything like that happens, I always say I trust the devs.
Yeah, you need to give yourself more credit, Chad. You do understand Kaspa very, very deeply.
I'm faking it.
You don't have to be able to understand code to understand Kaspa.
Yeah, I understand it at a different level, and I think I'm okay with that. So, but don't ask me any more technical questions.
Okay.
That's okay. I know that you probably know the answer more than I do, so we should be asking you those questions.
Oh, I don't know. I'm literally 12 years old, Chad. So.
I know. So what do you know?
Yeah, no, nothing.
Don't you have to go to bed or something? Is it nap time? I don't know.
Yeah, this is I know my mum's gonna bust in and be like,
Your mom, I'm waiting for your mom to bust in. Yeah. Take out the
Come on now.
trash.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
yeah, gotta go to primary school tomorrow, so gotta get to bed.
Oh gosh, that was out of left field. Oh, we love it here. We
What's
got
you?
one-
So, Will, you're obviously a musician, yes?
Well, yeah, I mean, I built
Or
this.
you have a band?
I say I built this. I mean, my parents converted it, and it's sort of they just didn't. My dad was like, "Oh, I'll use this as my office," and then I just sort of got it. So rich kid vibes there, which isn't the best look. But yeah, I used to make music quite a lot. I still do it a little bit.
Good for you. Yeah.
Here and there. Just make all sorts of stuff. I've posted things and whatever, but I mainly just use it now, like when I've got friends over and we'll make
Jam.
together.
Yeah. Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
all your primary school friends just
Sleepovers.
playing
Sleepovers.
Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the guitar.
When we have play dates at my house.
Oh god, we love it here.
Yeah. So, Chad, another question that we had was what you're most excited for in terms of Kaspa's projects after Takata. Like, what do you think would be the most important to accelerate or push?
Honestly, I think I mostly go to the KI projects and see a lot of those. I mean, they wouldn't be. I like what Cascade is doing as well. I think that, and they've already proven that their platform is so relevant, and it's gonna just get better and better. Mm-hmm. The lending platform, and some of the like I've mentioned before, some of the funding, projects that are coming up through with Angel, but I think the KI projects, like when I look at kind of those individual ones, whether it's 6 or 7, or I can't remember if it's which one or how many are going to launch, but they're all so like relevant. I mean, they're like the doorway to adoption, and it's things that back in the day when Kaspa was a coin that we could only dream of, that someday there'd be a Kaspa standard. We launched this narrative called Powered by Kaspa in and around the Crescendo time, actually just before Crescendo, because we knew that we had to turn the corner and start looking at what will happen when Kaspa becomes an infrastructure and an underlying technology, kind of like Intel inside. That's kind of like the vibe. So I think I'm excited about KI and seeing those projects. I'm super patient. I've come from the startup world. I know that these things don't always happen right away. To be honest, what they've done in the 2.5, 3 years is incredible. Mm-hmm. The connections they've had, the meetings around the world, in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and some of these other places they're planting seeds, they're building bridges. And soon, they're going to have some applications that hopefully not only they will be able to leverage. I'm sure there'll be a lot of developers that will want to jump on, and start to build.
The only video up on my channel at the moment is about the KI projects, and basically the way that data sequencing as a use case works in favor of Kaspa, like from a time preference perspective. I think we might have talked about this on the X Space when you were there. Actually, Chad, I can't remember exactly, but it's basically that those use cases with Kaspa's security now, or benefit from Kaspa now, but don't need security in the future, contribute to fees now, which then perpetuates Kaspa as a secure layer, which then means that it can build lower time preference use cases like being used as money. Whereas if, for example, you want to use Kaspa as a store of value and it's got no other use case, like cough cough Bitcoin, keep coming back to that, then how do you know that there's going to be security in 15 years time, right? It's a self-perpetuating issue where you don't believe that there's going to be security, so you don't buy now, you don't use now, and because you don't use now, there's no fees now, so there is no security. Whereas Kaspa fixes that by being a data layer, and like Warp Core is a big one, I think, because that's huge. the transaction is now, it's through, it's back into fiat. So there's no systemic risk. And like, it's the same for the ZX for trading, and for Cascade as well. I think all of the use cases that use Kaspa as a data sequencer are the ones that need the focus now, because they're the ones that provide the fee revenue.
100%. That's why I'm excited about Kai. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with one more question.
What's so
Chad.
funny, Jay?
Oh, just Twitter stuff, man.
Oh, okay.
People hating on me, and it's just funny.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Drew.
No, what do you think of all the stuff Seb is doing, Castmap? And actually,
brilliant.
Jay got given out for calling it Castmaps.
So,
Castmap, yeah.
I mean, if you've been following our channel, and you know, we've been supporting all these sub projects in the ecosystem, and one of them was the Caspathon, and that project, that contest, whatever. And way back in the day, we launched kind of the first directory for merchants. It was on the caspa.org website, and I always said this has to be off the site. Like, we need to move this somewhere. And you know, things happen and whatever. And then when Seb came along with Casmap, I'm like, I'm pointing that link to you now. So let's pour into this. And so of all the kind of like, if I could send somebody that's not technical or a developer or a miner, if I could send them to a place where they could be like, hey, what's going on with Kaspa? Like, what is it doing anything? I send them to Casmap. Because you can just look and say, hey, look, at the globe is turning green. There's all these projects that are happening. Check out the events that are on there. It's kind of a one-stop shop for proving that there's a project that is more than just alive. It's thriving. You know, despite the price, people will be like, oh, but the price. But I'm like, these guys are building. And Seb's a crazy man. I mean, he just keeps building and building. And I think Casmap is like this beautiful monster that just keeps getting a new limb and another eye, and then it's like this incredible you know, who knows what's going to be next. You know, I don't know. It's gonna have some sort of sentient thing and all of a sudden be part of us. So it'd be, I don't know. But anyways, Seb's awesome. There's so many in the community that are doing some really cool stuff and developing. I can't help but support a lot of them with their projects. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I love what Seb's doing.
You know what we should try and do, Joe? We should try on the Takota day, if it is June 30th. See if we could just try and get a full restream. Just get 10 people, or is it 8? I don't know what the max number is, but try and get as many people in here so we just have a manic
big party.
Talking. Yeah, big
party.
Yeah. Talking about
then have it up on the screen where it goes.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. If we could manage to organize that, although I'm sure everyone's going to be busy that day. So we have to get we have to book them in right now, I think.
I think it was funny when Crescendo launched. What was hilarious to me, I don't know, but there's Michael sitting in this living room watching the TV,
leaning against the wall.
It's like, boom, it just happened. I'm like, really? That's how it happens, eh? But they've obviously had everything figured out, you know, months ago, beforehand. But it's just interesting, like that's the launch event, just them watching it happen.
Yeah.
You know, 10 blocks. So I thought it was funny. But yeah, I think we should have like a cast party.
You have to be back then, Jad. You have to come back on the channel.
Oh, okay. June. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back in Canada. So what time will that be? That'd be 5 hours back. So I could do it.
Oh, sweet then. Yeah, we used to do it at 9. So it'd be mid-afternoon for you then. That'd be probably a bit easier. A little bit easier.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Obviously, you can tell that the sun's going down. I'm in the dark.
Really?
I could turn the I could turn the lights on, but then it'd be just like so bright, you blind you guys. I'll just keep getting closer to the screen. I'm still here.
Can you understand everybody in Scotland? You probably have to hang in the accent by now.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the different dialects as well. Like I went to a retreat last weekend, and it was like people from the north, the Highlands, the Glaswegians, and down to Ayr, and the difference is amazing. Like it's so different than any other culture I've been in, where you could be in a small little country, and yet, you know, to talk to 7-10 different people, and they all sound different. They all say the word differently. but I kind of like, there's some things that I like, and my wife keeps jabbing me when we're in conversations with people, because I'll slip into a Scottish accent. And she's like, "Stop it! You're not Scottish."
Yeah.
Don't become one of them. Don't convert.
I was in when we were we were in Berlin, and you know, the Kaspa experience, and there's a lot of Americans there, you know, and a few English and that. So I'm talking to a lot of Americans all day, and then Craig from the Visual Eye came over to me and started talking to me. And it just took a minute for me to. You had to change. Like, he's a Scottish fella, and he doesn't have a strong accent, but it just took a minute to nothing went in for like a minute until, you know, what he was talking, and then it just I kind of remember, like, I don't know, it just clicked. But no, it's funny when you're talking to people with different.
You just
accents,
shake your head and say, "Aye, well, yeah, aye,
yeah." Have you ever seen the video with the voice activated elevator in Scotland?
Oh yeah, 11.
Was it? Yeah. The two lads are stuck in the lift. Yeah.
So my last name's Ballantyne, which is Scottish, and ironically, where I'm staying right now is where all my past relatives are from, Ayrshire. And I love Scottish things so much that we named our kids. My oldest son is named Connery. So he was actually named after Connor MacLeod from the MacLeod clan.
Highlander.
From the Highlander. And of course, Sean Connery's in the movie, so we just blended them together, and his name's Connery. And then my daughter's named Kada, which is actually Shada, or Kada, which is the Gaelic form of Chad. So my name is Kada. We call her Junior, but no, we don't. And then my youngest son's Keelan, which is kind of more an Irish name. But I've always had an affinity for Scottish things. When I was little, my gran couldn't understand a word she said, but she made the best fish and chips, and it was just neat growing up. I love the pipes. I love the drums.
Do you like haggis, Chad?
I do. I had it this morning.
Okay, good.
Scottish breakfast.
Yeah,
blood pudding and haggis and the beans. And
what's haggis again? Intestine stuffed inside a stomach or something? Is it boiled?
Well, I mean, it ends up tasting like sausage. I mean, it's not a big deal. People just get over the whole, like, how they make it and all that.
Yeah.
Like, blood pudding sounds worse, but
yeah, but it's not actually that
meat.
bad.
It's just.
But they just call it pudding. Yeah.
Pudding. Yeah. So, anyways, what are we talking about? Kaspa? I don't know.
Something like that.
Kaspa.
Kaspa. Aye.
Oh, okay. I think it's bedtime.
How long do you guys go for? I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, I actually have to drop off. It's past my bedtime. Right. I feel like I'm Will right now.
It's actually we're getting up and going.
No, I've got I had a very terrible day. Pardon me. Terribly frustrating day on Monday. With some people that I'm working with for the first time, and they wanted to come back in on Wednesday. And I was like, sure. And I know it's going to be a stressful thing. I've got to wake up at like 5 a.m. So I'm like,
yeah.
Let me prepare myself.
If we just didn't have to deal with people, it'd be fine.
You know what? Can't wait for AI.
Yeah, bring it on.
They can't be replaced fast enough.
Yeah, normally we go a little bit longer, but unfortunately, I am the weakest link this time round.
I think Rory's the record, isn't he? 5 hours, 5.5.
Oh,
well, three hours on the show, another
Wow.
2.5 hours off.
We went 9 to 12:30 on the stream, and then me and Joe stayed behind with Rory and Envy.
Oh yeah, I'm Envy. Yeah,
and we were there till 2:30. And we were all cooked the next morning. I had to wake up at 6 a.m. It was tough.
Yeah, Rory can go. He can talk.
I love Rory so much.
He's awesome.
Beautiful bloke.
You need to get Rory and Seb on our show.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, we're planning to get Rory on. The thing is, we get Rory on. Yeah, it's never gonna end. It's gonna be just literally all 24-hour stream. You got that 24-hour
24-hour Kai.
Just get Rory and Seb just to talk to each other. Be constant content.
That's awesome. That's
the
awesome.
best thing about having Roy on as well, because he's normally quite tired for where he is, and he then sometimes occasionally slips in stuff he shouldn't be saying, and it's so funny.
Oh yeah,
He gets given out. Yeah.
He gets in so much trouble for it, and I love it.
Normally you don't see it, but like in the one with Envy, she's like, "Don't say that."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember the face. She's like,
we were speaking about the artists, and we were just creasing the whole time. She's like, "Rory, what are you talking about?" It's
yeah,
like,
you don't need to get Rory drunk. You just need to get him tired, and then he'll spill the beans.
And off air, I asked him. He with the Star Trek people, you know, the Kate Muldew. Muldew. Yeah, she plays. Oh my God, I'm going blank. Captain Janeway on Star Trek Voyager. Yeah, so she's staying in the west of Ireland in a house, and he dropped her over there, and I said, "Oh yeah, where's that?" And he gave me the air code. Like, so, but I don't know what, I can't go over and knock on the door and say I'm a big fan, like a weirdo. So I don't know what to do. Do I drive over and park and wait for her to come out, or stalk her just to say hello? Yeah, like, when I think about it, I was like, oh yeah, but I don't know what to do with that information.
Or you drive over, leave an air tag in her car, and just see her in public.
Just don't wear a Casper t-shirt. That's all I'm saying. Don't wear a Casper t-shirt.
Yeah, okay. When I get arrested, you don't want to see it.
The news takes a picture, you're on the media. Actually, that might be good. That might be good marketing.
Casper gets arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
First ever crypto to get arrested.
Headline, yeah. Right. Well, thank you very much, Chad, for tuning in this week. I apologize.
Sure.
I unfortunately do have to now dip off.
No worries, man.
And unfortunately, I'm also the host, so it's not a case I can dip off and you will keep chewing the fat.
Just keep your screen on. We'll just keep talking.
But yeah, don't wait. In 2 weeks' time, it'll be Joe's job, and then Joe can take the reins again. So that's fantastic. Can't wait for that. Yes, Will, first time on, how do you feel?
Euphoric, mate. I feel good. It's been good fun. It's weird because I've obviously watched a lot of your episodes, and now I'm like, you know, everyone stopped talking. I'm like, oh, like I'm meant to contribute to this. I'm here watching it on YouTube.
Don't worry, me and Joe still don't get it either. We still talk over each other, but you know, the more you're here, as we're still waiting for the next steps in BB, you'll get the hang of things, and it makes things even easier for when you end up doing whatever it is the next step is you are doing with BB. So
we're a lot better than the X Space. There's a lot of dead air on that show.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen much on this.
What's that guy, Levendi?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Loser.
Yeah, I can't wait to beat him at poker on Thursday. It's going to be so good. But anyways, family, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 20 of Blockchain Banter at Internet Speed with our new co-host Will and Chad Barbarian tuning in. Thank you very much for just being here, chewing the fat, and letting us know what's going on, and ultimately giving us insight on where we see Kaspa going next. It was a good episode. Actually, it was very good. I was looking at the view count. We actually got some of our highest live viewers for first time in a while. So evidently someone here is doing something right.
I think it's bots hearing from the darkness.
I'll be back. But yeah, anyways, family, you know what to do. If you enjoy the content, as always, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. If you want to find out more about anything in regards to crypto and Kaspa content, follow us on the socials. You've got Kaspa Commons for Chad. You've got also Chad's personal Twitter if you want to also plug that. You can find that on Twitter. You've got Heavy Hash, as it says there, which is Will's, Crypto Pumps, and myself, Quick Crypto, all on Twitter. Check us out there. But that being said,
Kaspa Commons.
I said that one already. Don't worry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I wasn't listening to you.
Kaspa _comments.
Yeah. We'll quickly type it in as well. Just Kaspa _Commons. There you go. That's the Chad's Kaspa Commons account. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, family. Have a great day, good evening, and good night. Thank you all for being here. Ja, Will, and Chad, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
Peace.